Hello there, my name is Jihad Khalifa. Over this video, I will show you a simple DevOps scenario and how you can configure a full automation process to upload, build, and run your source code project. Okay, under Docker config folder, we have two main Docker files. The first one is used to building a Jenkins container with all prerequisites that will help us to complete our tasks via Jenkins later on. The second Docker file, it has included a Jenkins home folder that contains all the tasks, plugins, and configurations we will use on the new environment. Let us now move to Kubernetes config folder. This folder will build our cluster project over these YAML files. As you can see here, we can use such as the Nginx ingress controller and ingress rule files for publishing our website or creating a new Jenkins deployment after defining a PVC storage. But we have to check the Jenkins config map script file with its variables to match our needs, so we can rely on it to build a config map resource that includes correct settings to access our Kubernetes cluster through the Jenkins deployment. Also, the deployment is using a service account with its role to authenticate to the cluster. Finally, Terraform code files will handle create our new environment on Azure. It will build Azure Kubernetes service, Azure storage account, key vault, and execute some commands like creating Kubernetes resources and so on. These code files are divided. Each one has its own responsibility, such as main.tf file responses to build resources, variables.tf file responses to define variables, and terraform.tf vars responses to add value to these defined variables. To use Terraform, I have created a simple script file that will handle Terraform commands and build our cluster environment. Okay, let us log into Azure Portal. Under Azure Portal, click on a shell icon to open Azure Cloud Shell. Right now, I'm going to apply a git clone command to download our repository and run the Terraform shell file to build our project after granting it execution permission. you can type yes after verifying the objects that will be created. Once a Terraform apply command is done, type yes to move local Terraform state file to a remote state on Azure storage. After Terraform has built our environment, I'm going to check Kubernetes deployment if they are deployed successfully and update our DNS service with a new load balancer IP. At Jenkins stage, we are going to verify its configuration and do a full continuous integration and deployment scenario. Our Jenkins configuration has included two jobs, whereas a building image job will listen to a GitHub repository over GitHub webhook to pull new changes for creating a new Docker image. And a building deployment job will run and deploy the new Docker image on our cluster environment once the building image job is completed. So, after verifying our configuration variables and GitHub settings, we can make a real scenario to build a new website via WordPress as example and push it to a GitHub repository, where the Jenkins jobs will listen and wait to apply it into the Kubernetes cluster. Okay, as you can see here, I'm using a local WordPress service and my GitHub app has already connected to our repository to push a new website. Let us now pick up a new website and make some modification like change a background or title and push it to our GitHub repository. can now use a web static plugin to convert the WordPress website to HTML file and upload it. Finally, once the WordPress converting is completed, let us upload the changes and watch how the Jenkins jobs will run automatically to apply the updates on the cluster.